Good evening and welcome. Tonight we are in the office of the Ethiopian World Federation, local number 1 in Brooklyn, New York. And I speak to you tonight. My name is Ronald Pennycook, and I speak to you tonight as a representative of the Ethiopian World Federation Incorporated. Now, by the Constitution and bylaws of the Ethiopian World Federation Incorporated, it's actually a government of the race, Ethiopians. So, I speak to you tonight in that regard as a representative of the government of the black race. And this unbelievable fact is certified by law because of this book. It's the Constitution and bylaws of the Ethiopian World Federation Incorporated, promulgated or published August 25th, 1937, making it this year 71 years old in August, this book. Now, I can read the first page. It's called the preamble. So let me read the preamble. We, the black peoples of the world, in order to effect unity, solidarity, liberty, freedom, and self-determination, to secure justice and maintain the integrity of Ethiopia, which is our divine heritage, do hereby establish and ordain this Constitution for the Ethiopian World Federation Incorporated. That's the preamble. So the preamble summarizes the book. And what the preamble just said a while ago is that we, the black peoples of the world, have a constitution, a democratic constitution. Here it is. Okay. So by this book, parliamentary procedure, democratic process, electoral government, this book endeavors to organize and centralize the affairs of the black race to benefit Africa, her descendants globally, and by extension the human family in total. Okay? So, in that regard, I speak to you tonight, not as just myself, Ronald Pennycook, but as a representative of the government of the black race, authorized by the law of the Constitution. All right, we want to take a brief look at the Constitution in terms of its implementation and so on and so forth, so that this will serve as an instrument to assist in comprehending the Constitution and in the long run abiding by it. All right, so the first thing that we shall do is really to look at it in terms of, like, how does someone become attached to the Constitution? How does the Constitution relate to someone? All right, so then we shall say the section related to membership. All right, so quickly we're going to create a picture here. It's Article 2. Section 1, membership. The membership shall comprise the black peoples of the world. Okay. Now remember, the name of the book is the Ethiopian World Federation. So the membership comprises the black peoples of the world. So already we are learning something here very significant. Black peoples of the world are called Ethiopians. Okay. By this law. Okay. So now that we know membership is for the black peoples of the world, let us take a look at what the Constitution says about international officers. Okay? All right. And then now, in the section duties of international officers, I shall read A of section 3. So it's Article 3, Section 3A. The international president shall be the executive head of the Ethiopian World Federation Incorporated and shall reside in the city of New York. It shall be the duty of the international president to preside at the international conventions and to deliver an address on the state of the Ethiopian World Federation Incorporated. He shall sign all legal documents and be chairman of the International Executive Council. It shall be his duty to call conventions as appointed by law, and in cases of emergency, by and with the consent of the Executive Council, call special conventions. Okay, so then, the reference is made in the masculine gender, he. But as we speak today, being Tuesday, the 15th of January, 2008, as we tape this segment, it's actually Martin Luther King's birthday today, which brings to mind the good doctor, Reverend Dr. King, had a speech where in the speech he said, "I have been to the mountaintop and I have seen the promised land. I will not get there with you, but you as a people shall see the promised land or get to the promised land." All right? Now, I remember that speech, very significant, because to a lot of us black people around the world, the United States of America is actually the promised land. So then, if Dr. King, being an African-American citizen, is telling us that he has been to the mountaintop and seen the promised land and he will not get to the promised land, what are we to make of that? I would be interested to hear what the historians have to say in that regard, but we shall continue. Okay, but today, being the Tuesday, the 15th of January, is very significant because, as I say, today we celebrate the birth of Dr. King, right? And although he's not with us physically, his works quite present today, right? So we shall continue with what we are doing. The international president, right? It's written in the masculine gender. He shall sign all legal documents, but you know something today? It's a woman who is the international president of the Ethiopian World Federation. So in reality, is she shall sign all legal documents and be chair, and what do we say? Chairman, chairwoman, chairperson? I think there's still a debate in that regard. All right. The legal chairperson, chairwoman of the International Executive Council. Okay? Now, we shall go into that also. But then the picture that we are developing now from this book, very quickly, is that the black race comprises the membership. And through the single voice of the international president, the race is allowed to speak. So this is a marvelous document. If we can summarize what it actually does for us, black people, it's very simple. It allows us to speak with one voice. So that the voice of our international president represents us. Now, that's marvelous. That's marvelous. And that knowledge has to be secure with all of us. Members of the race, members of the organization, so that we could enjoy that benefit. We centralize.
Yes.
So that one voice actually does speak for us. And that's what this book, let us say, allows us to do.